With the release of 2 brand new mods, it's time to look at the news for what's to come. And today, we have pretty much everything from sauropods, large carnivores, hadrosaurs, and more. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with the sauropods because we have 2 to talk about today. Firstly, let's open up with the Dinosauria Camarasaurus because Dinosauria opened up with this video of the Camarasaurus doing a broadcast call, but they also mentioned a few things. Firstly, testing is going well. They're currently hammering away at bugs and putting in new fixes and new skins for the mod. They pushed the Camarasaurus into testing around the 29th of August to ensure all big sauropods, the free ones, that they're currently working on, are in testing, which makes testing faster overall, while sharing a bunch of screenshots of this sauropod as well as sharing the broadcast call like I've mentioned earlier, which you can have a check out right now. Let me know your thoughts of it. The next sauropod we have to showcase is Sauroposeidon, a large sauropod hailing from the USA in Wyoming, Oklahoma, and Texas. This comes from the Divine Beasts team, and while this sauropod is here to show, it's only just started its texturing phase, and so it's important to note that this is in very, very early development. So far, the only preview we have is a low poly shot of the model and a close-up of the head with some forms of texturing as well. Now let's move into some other herbivores, some hadrosaurs to talk about, with both EDMONTOSAURUS and MAIASAURA on the menu today. Starting with the EDMONTOSAURUS from Regalius, because there is some big progress on this one. Firstly, there were 3 skins that were shown off from the EDMONTOSAURUS mod, and these were these. Regalius, which is based off Regalius's OC, I believe, which is a mix of blues and whites. The next is a crimson looking skin made by Wolf Talon, and finally is a skin based off the prehistoric planet EDMONTOSAURUS, which uses artistic liberty to ensure that this does not look like a carbon copy of the skin from the show. Overall, these are great skins for the EDMONTOSAURUS. Really big fan of it so far. Can't wait to see this one come to the game. But it isn't the only hadrosaur that we're going to be talking about today, because the next one is MAIASAURA, and this has even more news. Turkey Zenith has been showing off a lot of the MAIASAURA mod lately, and I gotta say, the more I see it, the more I want it. However, do bear in mind we have a rough estimate of when this could come, because someone asked if it's coming this year. And the author said, probably not. We are just now getting around to ironing out locomotion. So there you have it. It won't be coming out this year. Well, the likelihood of it is very slim. And if it does, then we're blessed. That being said, there are some skins to showcase today. Firstly, we have the Stripe skin, which was concepted by Roland and brought to life by Raiden. Then there is the Sandstone skin, which is made by Beedle, followed by the Draconic skin, which uses reds for the male and greens for the female. These screenshots also showcase another species. This is the bulky species that has more prominent features like its horns and a larger hump. And the final skin is the Chameleon skin to wrap things up. That being said, we do have some emotes and animations to talk about here. The first one is the default or the chatter emote, and then following on from that is the updated walking animations, which was showcased early last month. As things stand, I'm very excited for this mod, although while we do see screenshots in game, please bear in mind development is still ongoing and it won't be completed at least for this year. Have a watch of the animations and the emotes with the sound so you can have a proper look at them, but let me know your thoughts on this mod so far. We have a double Carcharodontosaurus header. because firstly we have REPTI's Carchar with a bunch of comparisons between it and the Spinosaurus after its TLC. According to REPTI, it's closer now to reality in terms of the size comparison between the two. Look at the size of this Carchar compared to the Spino, by the way. The head higher than its shoulder height, and overall just looks way more bulky than the Spinosaurus. Spino is obviously longer, but at the shoulder it seems the Carchar is just a bit taller. Obviously from the top of the head, Spino is technically taller, and if you factor in the sail, Spino's definitely taller, but if you go for shoulder height, Carchar beats it there. But Carchar definitely has more bulk to it. Speaking of Carchars, there is actually another Carcharodontosaurus mod that we have entering the frame. When will we ever stop getting Carcharodontosaurus mods? I feel like they just keep coming. There's loads of them. This one is being made by FUNKEI and is currently in its animating and skinning phase. So far, we have some showcases of the model with texturing, showing it is way taller than the official Rex in the game, for example, which makes me think, how tall is this going to be compared to REPTI's Carchar? Because this thing looks like it's going to be quite a bit taller. Anyways, the model overall, we only see the texturing of it, but it looks pretty nice. We do have some animations showcased for it, which were the run animation, the sitting animation, the bite attack animation for all of them, and they were all made by Nox Aquites. Have a watch of them right now. The Alum has teased another mod that they have in development. This is a close relative to Miragaia, which is currently an official Stegosaur in the game. This is DACENTRURUS. This is said to be bigger, deadlier, but a lot slower than the Miragaia that's in the game at the moment, likely meaning it's opting to be more of a tanky gameplay style for a Stegosaur, and will probably be on par with Stegosaurus in terms of maybe being a 5-slot, you know? So far, we only have the low poly, rough sculpt completed, but as with a lot of Alum's mods, this is on the bigger side. Although, when compared to most of their own mods that they're making, this is one of their smaller mods, which I think is quite crazy. Now, I do want to talk about a mod that's currently in the game. It's the ABSENTIA ACRO, because this is overdue a rework, with 2 Apex reworks happening since its last stats update, with the developers even saying at the moment it's not viably comparable to TLC'd creatures until the TLC for Acrocanthosaurus comes out. It won't be getting a buff because they think it's the strongest Apex in the game because of its old stats at the moment. However, they did admit that Phase 1 for the mod's TLC will be releasing in a few days. Of course, take that as a pinch of salt. It might be out by the time I make this video, or it could still be in the process. We don't actually know what the relative scale for a few days is when it comes to modding. It could be anywhere between now and the heat death of the universe, but you know, we have a TLC for this mod coming soon that you can feast upon. Coming hot off the press for David Rosa's mods, announced by Phelan, we have the next David Rosa creature. This is Torosaurus. This is a large ceratopsian that rivals Triceratops. In fact, for a long time it was thought that Triceratops was Torosaurus or Torosaurus was Triceratops. The model reference for this is Torosaurus MOR1122, which is found to be around 8 meters long, and that being said, they did say the asset is slightly outdated, and the reference is outdated as well, so it will likely be updated as time goes on. Currently, they are working on ideas for its playstyle and developing the kit for it, so it's in very, very early development. They said if you have any ideas, do share in their Discord. They have a specific channel just for it. Now, you've heard of the Leviathan, the Goliath mutant Spinosaurus, but have you heard of its big rival, Imperius Rex? Well, there is some development news for it. Rogue has provided us an update for this mod. This Rex has had some love with individually placed scales and new horns, which have been slow work but look absolutely awesome. This looks gorgeous. It's absolutely metal with big spikes along its back, an armored looking beak and some huge horns. While this is a work in progress so far, Rogue has done a tremendous job and I cannot wait to see more of it. While we are here, here's a teaser of the Leviathan as well, because I know a lot of people are excited for that mod. Now, staying true technically to the theme of Tyrannosaurs, because we have a Daspletosaurus that is entering the fray. You know, where are the Gorgosaurus mods? Give me a Gorgosaurus, that's all I ask for. Anyways, this uses a model made by Raiden, which was kindly given to Rosie to be able to bring to life within Path of Titans for free. This model is awesome. It's a really nice rendition of a popular Tyrannosaur. And if you look at Raiden's other work, maybe there's the possibility that we could see more of his dinosaurs come to the game. Technically, with his Brachiosaurus, do we have any more coming? I'm not too sure, but I'd love to know if that is the case. This one will probably be quite a way away. I'm definitely keeping my eyes on this one because Raiden's models are super cool. That being said, there are some other mods that are in early development that I can't wait to see. And the next one is a Ceratopsian, because we're going back to the Ceratopsian theme. After talking about Torosaurus earlier, we have another Ceratopsian, and this comes from the Path of Titans Discord by a user called Cookie, and this is LOKICERATOPS. So far, we have actually seen countless animations for this. The trot and the walk, the run, the sit down animation, and the charge attack animation as well. So far, we also have the low poly sculpt and the animations. I believe this is just one of many projects that the user is making. For example, they're also making what I'm assuming is a Patago Titan, which looks awesome. Regardless, there's a long way to go, and I'm sure Cookie has a lot of work to do for this mod. So I wish you the absolute best in bringing this to life, and I can't wait to hopefully play this in-game one day. I'm sure many other people here also probably feel the same. However, we're wrapping things up with a mod project that's being made by Luen. I've definitely said that wrong. Is it Lueni? Anyways, I'm sure they'll correct me in the comments. But this was teased a couple days ago, and it looks like a big hyena that is making its way into the game. And I gotta say, I kind of like these stuff. You know, I like these, like, non-dinosaur, prehistoric, or even still alive creatures come to the game because they're just cool. Hyenas, I think, are awesome. And this is definitely something I'm quite excited for. This is a mod which was a project for Luen to learn modding. And so far, with the progress they've shown of this big guy, they've definitely done an awesome job. Now, the images are very teasy. You don't actually get to see what is going on here. You don't see much at all. But what they do show is another non-dinosaur mod is coming. And I know a lot of you people are excited for stuff like this. For example, I know a lot of people are excited for the Isle of Asylum Wolf and stuff like that. But this is one to be excited for. I myself love hyenas. I love their iconic laugh. I love how they're so unrelenting in groups as they hunt. And I cannot wait to see this in the game and how people take to this absolute beast. But that was the last mod that we're talking about. Good luck to Luen and bringing this one to life and bringing it into the game. It's awesome to see that you've used this as a project to learn modding, and so far it looks like it's gone absolutely brilliantly. And there you go, everybody. Let me know your thoughts about the mod news today. If you want to check out another video, check out this one, which was my Ichthyovenator showcase for Path of Titans, the mod. Or check out this one, which is the top 10 upcoming mods for Path of Titans that you should be excited for. Other than that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.